In this video, we will learn two things. First, using the formulas we have been using, we will figure out when the object will be at its highest point. So when is time. Next, we will figure out how high an object can get, and that's in the y direction. Let's say that our initial velocities are x is 2 and y is 19.6. Then we know that our two equations are going to be x equals 2t and y equals 19.6t minus 4.9t squared. Using these formulas, doing what we did in class today, we can figure out when the object, we know that the object will start on the ground, it will move up like this, and then it will eventually hits the ground again, and it will crash on the ground. We can figure out at what time the object is going to crash on the ground. To do that, we know that when it is on the ground, y equals 0. So, using the equation on the right, 0 equals 19.6t minus 4.9t squared. Factor out a t, 19.6 minus 4.9t. So we know that t is equal to 0, or I have 19.6 minus 4.9t equals 0. Add 4.9t to both sides, and we get 19.6 equals 4.9t. Divide both sides by 4. We get t equals 4. So now the question is, which t is the correct one? Is t equal to 0 or t equals 4? Well, when t is equal to 0, that's when the object just got started. So we know the answer here is got to be t equals 4. So we know that after 4 seconds, the object hits the ground. Now the question is, at what time does the object get to the highest point? Well, if you think about it, half the time the object is going up, half the time the object is going down. So the time at which it is at its highest point must be 4 divided by 2. So after 2 seconds, the object must be at its highest point. So we know that the object is at its highest point when t equals 2, when time is 2 seconds. Well, how high is the object? When we ask about how high, we are looking for a y. So going back to our y equation, we can do y equals 19.6t minus 4.9t squared. I know t is 2, so I can erase each of the t's, and you replace them with a 2. Now we finish. 19.6 is 39.2. 2 squared, we do 4.9. 2 squared comes first, exponents comes first. 40.9 times 4. That's going to equal to 39.2 minus 19.6, which is equal to 19.6. What we know is that at the highest point right here, the object will be 19.6 meters high. That's how high the object will get.